then I come to realize that a lot of movies that I've done, this are actually movies that are really pretty good. So I actually kind of.
For better or worse, Plan 9's place in popular culture is inextricably and controversially bound up with the Medved's so bad it's good philosophy. Without the Medved's attentions, Plan 9's fame would certainly be less than it is. But the downside has been that Plan 9's infamous tag of worst film of all time, attached to it not by the Medveds but by a write-in vote from their readers, splits Plan 9 fans right down the middle to this day.
We listed it as the worst film of all time according to our readers of the 50 worst films of all time. And the underground cult became an above-ground cult.
Is Plan 9 the worst film of all time? That depends on who you ask.
I think Pink Flamingos is probably the worst movie ever made.
It's interesting all the way through, and that's more than you can say for a lot of pictures, because to me the biggest sin a film can commit is being dull. And Plan 9, whatever it is not dull.
Meryl Streep's last movie, to me, would be the worst film of all time, or any film that she's in.
Screenwriter Terry Black wrote the film Dead Heat, as well as several episodes of HBO's Tales from the Crypt. He occasionally teaches screenwriting and has made novel use of Plan 9 in his curriculum.
I'm always looking for ways to make the classroom a more dynamic experience for students to take something away from it. I've always believed that one way of learning how to write a screenplay, how to structure a story, how to put a film together, is to see an example of how it's not done well. So my brainstorm is I thought, okay, we'll take Plan 9, we'll show the film in its entirety. I don't normally do that. And before I did, I instructed my students to take out pen and pencil, and I said, what I want you to do is every time you see something done badly, write it down. And at the end, after we've seen the movie, we'll go around to class and we'll count. We'll see who found the most. In order to make it fair, well, I did it myself. And so I took the liberty of bringing my list along with me here. What I found were 82 flaws with the movie. Would you like me to read this?
I mean, you go to college, you take courses in art and media, they tell you surrealism is important, existentialism is important, and then you see it right in front of your eyes in Plan 9 from Outer Space, a movie that achieves high art through sheer incompetence.
Rambling dialogue, insults to the viewer's intelligence, melodramatic music score, patronizing voiceover narration.
He would, use his two favorite words, dramatic license, let it go, good enough.
Why is it so important that you want to contact the governments of our Earth? Because of death. Because all you of Earth are idiots.
Now you just hold on, Buster.
No, you hold on. First was your firecracker, a harmless explosive. Then your hand grenade. They began to kill your own people a few at a time. Then the bomb. Then a larger bomb. Many people are killed at one time. Then your scientists stumbled upon the atom bomb. Split the atom. Then the hydrogen bomb, where you actually explode the air itself. Now you can brings the total destruction of the entire universe served by our sun. The only explosion left is the solar night. But there's no such thing, perhaps to you, but we've known it for centuries. Your scientists will stumble upon it as they have all the others. But the juvenile minds which you possess will not comprehend its strength until it's too late.
Lugosi's bad acting, boring shot composition, cheap set design, clumsy editing, ridiculous transitions, fake-looking plane set, dime store special effects.
So what if we do develop this solanite bomb? We'd be even a stronger nation than now.
Stronger. You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid.
That's all I'm taking from you.
Get back here, you fool!
Do you have a particular favorite scene?
Yes, it's your stupid minds, stupid. For all the science fiction films where the superior alien calmly explains how superior he is, let's call it the Michael Rennie approach, this guy is upset and freaked out as any human being would be, and then the human response is to punch the guy out. Now, that is a scene unlike anything else in the history of science fiction cinema. It resonates.
In this sequence, Bela Lugosi's double is about to be shot. Notice how, as he neck chops Kelton the cop, his cape almost slips from his shoulders.
absurd off-camera screams, stupid analogies, Lugosi's off-camera death, day-for-night transitions, Tor's delivery of lines, shot continuity, transition to fake-looking house, boring direction, cigar-shaped spacecraft that aren't.
One of Plan 9's most famous gaffes occurs in the cemetery scenes. Watch the gravestones on the right.
As a director, Ed was a man who worked off the top of his head. What he was going to do, it was whatever his first impulse said. You do it instantly now with whatever's handy, and that's it, and don't even think of a retake. Don't even think of it.
Idiotic eulogies, ridiculous reaction shots, unrelated from nowhere stock footage, Colonel Tom Edwards' bizarre white background, dumb backstory, non sequitur dialogue, phony costumes, idiotic spaceship, logic problems, fake technology, shadows in outer space.
Here, in a sequence as economically handled as any in cinema history, Bela Lugosi dies off-screen. Notice that after the freeze frame, Lugosi's shadow is still visible on the ground.
Saucers seen over Hollywood. Flying saucers seen over Washington, D.C.
One of the most cherished of Plan 9's images are the wobbly flying saucers used with bold and unblinking authority by Ed Wood throughout the movie. No other element in Plan 9 is easier to take pot shots at.
We've all seen the hubcaps flying with the nylon strings or whatever they have, fishing tackle, glinting. We can see the strings that are moving the things about.
Bobby, have you seen Plan 9 from outer space?
Yes, I saw that flying saucer. Plate, it was, right? It was a plate.
Ed Wood invented symbolic effects to take the place of special effects, that it's wrong to view his films as having bad special effects. Instead, we should say that when he wants a special effect, he puts a symbol on the screen of the special effect he would have if he had the money.
I mean, I don't see the strings. I mean, if you really look for them, maybe you can see them, but I mean, that's not what I'm looking for, and that's not what I see.
The saucers in Plan 9 were said to be everything from Cadillac hubcaps to pie tins to paper plates. It made for such a good story that even Ed Wood took to telling people he'd used hubcaps for the saucers. But Wood had given one interview in which he told the truth. What he said was this: he'd simply gone to a local hobby shop and purchased half a dozen commercially available model kits. And here it is, the only flying saucer model kit available at the time Plan 9 from Outer Space was made. To get his saucers to fly, Wood simply drilled 3 holes around the rim of each model, strung monofilament through the holes, and puppeted the models before various painted backdrops. Careful comparison with the film reveals that these model saucers were indeed used, and the Plan 9 companion is proud to have solved this mini-mystery once and for all.
Pointless saucer footage, witless up there, over there, in their speech, psychopathic pillow-grabbing wife, idiotic idioms, unscary zombie attack, same Lugosi footage used again and again and again. Tor can't get out of his own grave.
After I moved to Los Angeles and became a big Plan 9 fan, I decided that when I got a new car, that it had to have a Plan 9 license plate. So I went to the DMV, and thinking no one in the world would have ever heard of it, registered for Plan 9, and it came back already registered. So I had to be inventive and do Plan N9. Having a license plate that says Plan 9 gets a lot of traffic interruptions. People are always stopping and saying, "What is Plan 9? I mean, what happened to Plan 1 through 8? If I heard that another time, you just want to go, ugh. But, and then you also get a lot of people that go, "Did you make Plan 9?
This is the Acker Mansion, home of Mr. Science Fiction, Forrest J. Ackerman. Seen here leading visitors on one of his regular tours of his vast collection.
Paul made this for me. It doesn't exist anywhere but here.
Best known as editor of famous monsters of Filmland, Forey is also a literary agent for such authors as A.E. Van Vogt. In the very early 50s, he even tried to sell the fiction of a struggling young author named Edward D. Wood, Jr. Among the rarities from Mr. Ackerman's collection is the only known surviving piece of wardrobe from Plan 9 from Outer Space.
This is the cape I saw Bela Lugosi wearing in 1932 on the stage in San Francisco when he was portraying Dracula. And finally, we see it for the last time in Plan 9 from Outer Space. Listen to them, children of the night. What music they make. Don't be afraid. I never drink at Hollywood and wine.
Hi, welcome to Hollywood Book and Poster Company.
Hi, Eric. Let me ask a few questions about Plan 9 collectibles. How often do you get requests for posters and stills and the like from Plan 9?
All the time. I mean, since we opened up the store in 1977, I think a day doesn't go by in which somebody doesn't call or come in asking for, anything we have on Plan 9.
What kind of items are most requested?
Well, the poster, lobby cards, photos, the movie script.
What are some of your favorite moments from it?
It's got to be just about every scene with Vampira, I think. I've always been awed and fascinated by her character. Tor Johnson, of course. I think the graveyard scenes always sort of stay in my mind. The tombstones that if you look closely, you can see them falling, popping down and popping back up.
What does a one-sheet from Plan 9 sell for these days?
The last one I had went for $1,500. That was I sold it about a year ago.
Who bought it?
It was a collector in New York, actually. Somebody that was the last poster he needed to complete his collection. So as far as I know, he has every single Edward Jr. poster.
How about a set of lobby cards from Plan 9? What do they go for?
I was told the set goes for around somewhere between $750 up to maybe $1,000. It's very rare. It's real hard to get those.
What were items like the ones we're talking about selling for, say, 10 or 15 years ago?
Probably next to nothing. I mean, I don't think it's just a lot of people weren't aware of the film, of what an amazing cult film it is. I mean, back then I think you probably could get it for next to nothing.
Maybe you can tell us what some of the reasons are for the rise in the value of paper collectibles from Plan 9 and other cult films.
Yeah, I think it has to do a lot of it with a lot of the books that have come out, a lot of the film festivals all around the country. There's like Ed Wood Jr. film retrospectives all the time, and he's gotten a lot of exposure on television, on cable. I think all those factors have to be taken into consideration.
How about the Golden Turkeys?
I question the motives of the book, but it did bring him into into being with a lot of people that ordinarily would never even have heard of him or been familiar with him. So it did turn a whole new generation onto the Ed Wood Jr. Films.
Are you a Plan 9 fan yourself?
Oh yeah, always have been, always will be.
Revolving point of view, eons of your years ago, overlong half-witted alien recording, atmospheric conditions in outer space, dopey arm-crossing aliens, Griswold plays two parts when one was too many, contrived suspense.
One of the legacies of Plan 9 from Outer Space is its oddball ripple effect through popular culture, which continues to this day. Like many a contemporary hit, Ed Wood's self-proclaimed pride and joy has inspired comics, T-shirts, masks, models, postcards, a soundtrack album, even a musical adaptation, not to mention regular retrospective screenings and a steady stream of writing about the film and its creator. It's been said of Plan 9 that it's an anti-masterpiece, that Ed Wood was an anti-genius, and that we watch Plan 9 in rapt anticipation of its next wrong move. There's room for that theory, just as there's room for the simpler theory that Ed Wood did his best to make an entertaining film and succeeded, if not exactly in all the ways he may have intended. Without question, time has been good to Plan 9. There's more than a little irony in the fact that the very qualities that made it a critical failure when it was made are the very same ones that ensure the film will never be forgotten. Of all the things written about the film, perhaps this quote sums Plan 9 up best. No matter what time it is when you watch Plan 9 from Outer Space, it always feels like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, its counterpart.
unconvincing terror, dim-witted decomposition ray, Dicta Robitaille, which is a terribly dumb name.
I think Plan 9 has endured as a movie because, and for the same reason that Glen or Glenda has, so many framing devices that it's like a bunch of Chinese boxes. And when you finally emptied all the boxes, there's nothing there. Ed Wood always puts in narration where narration is totally unnecessary, and then surrounds the narration with more narration until finally you disappear into the thickets of commentary and you forget there was ever a storyline. It's a confidence trick. Plan 9 from Outer Space is an hour-and-a-half magic act, and there was nothing up Ed Wood's sleeves.
It's good. That's why I didn't do it.
Well, it's mainly because everyone's brain damaged, right?
I think, in a sense, he's an American success story. He got to make movies. His name is on the screen. At the end of his movies is Made in Hollywood, USA, by God. No, I don't think he can be summed up so easily. People keep wanting to pigeonhole him, to want to find 2 or 3 words they can use as a descriptor on him. You find him in a short entry in Katz's Film Encyclopedia. Tragic-driven American filmmaker who made low-budget turkeys. Yeah, he wasn't. He was a lot more things. And a lot more complicated. He was a person.
Plan 9 is going to be 36 next year. You want to look into the camera and say happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Plan 9, and Bella, right on, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there should be a parade, celebrations. They should probably do, they have to be a Plan 9 or Ed Wood Jr. Day in L.A. declared by Mayor Bradley.
Happy birthday, Plan 9. You age like fine old wine. That's a rhyme, isn't it?
Happy birthday, Plan 9.
Well, I was hoping when he did predict about the grave robbers from outer space, I was hoping that would be true, which that's about the only one I knew that turned out to be finally turned out to be the right one.
What was his prediction?
That you'll be hearing about this picture in the near future.
Imagine, if you will, last New Year's Eve party. Tore naked but for loincloth made of potato sack. Barbecue moonlight glistening the drop of chicken blood on his chins.
I am sneaky. Shut up, please.
Flop belly up on chip and dip, Tor shows his Stanislavski, scares the guests into the pool.
I says pool. The guy and the girl is going in the pool. Potatoes chip, potatoes salad. Oh, wait, strawberries, potatoes salad.